Okay, my next podcast is called Welcome Buenos Aires, and I'm going to show you some things that's been done, uh, I guess, as far as getting ready for a visit for some businesses from Argentina. How this came about was that I had seen uh, a group that was making, I guess, presentations at Chicago for the Illinois Chamber. They'd also gone to Detroit, and they had gone to Dallas and then Atlanta and D.C. And it was headed up by a great friend of mine, Pablo Abdian. So I got to thinking, maybe why not Little Rock? And when I started checking into it some, of course, a lot of the focus is on artificial intelligence, and that's a big buzzword now. But it's used a lot by medicine and insurance, and of course, we have some of the best medical facilities here with UAMS and then Baptist, and then I found that St. Vincent's also has a lot of good doctors. So there's a lot of people here that might have an interest if we can do some things with artificial intelligence. And again, you have Stevens Inc., and they have a lot of interest in companies and particularly international. So I think that kind of fits in their situation. And you can look around the state and see places like Walmart who have an international presence, or Tyson's Food, and numerous other companies that trade internationally. You can go to Dillard's or wherever. But this came about because I have a friendship and business relationship with Pablo for probably the past 30 years. I went to Argentina with some opportunities on my software, and he was working for a company called Sursat at that time, and I wanted to find somebody in country that could support our product. We had developed cable software, and we knew that there were some companies down there. There's one out in LA that's called Mandeville, but there are others down there from Adelphia, which was an old company that was located in Pennsylvania, that they had a system there that they want to use our software on. It was in Pelotas, Brazil, and it's not very far from Uruguay. And I went there on a trip down to the ranch down in Uruguay with my other consultant, Sid Shreve, who's a lot of rainmaking type things as far as businesses because he grew up there and is a Mormon, and he knows top level people that's in the government and also in larger businesses. But as far as Pablo, I wanted to have somebody that could support the installation there in Pelotas. So that was our first contact with Pablo. And then after that, there's been numerous situations where we've been demonstrating to some of the major companies there, and we've had some contracts that's put together along with Group Bulls. So there's a lot of things that's going on there. And so when I noticed what they were doing, I thought, well, I'll contact him and see, how we might proceed on this. Well, what you're going to find, and it's behind the scenes, uh, a conversation I had with him. We were on, the Google product where you could communicate, and I just did kind of uh, a video of our conversation. I didn't try to make it too professional, just kind of pick up on the fact that we're really good friends. We talked a lot about where he lives now in Bariloche, and that's, if you see, he said a 2 hour flight from Buenos Aires, and it's down in the Andes, and there's a lot of skiing goes on there. Of course, their seasons are just the opposite. Again, with my numerous travel, I could go down here and uh, the heat of the summer here and be in the cool of the winter there. So I'm well aware of the differences there. But the weather there is kind of, in Bariloche, is much like San Francisco. And I kind of recall when we were merging into the cable data out in California, you could be 100 degrees in Sacramento or Rancho Cordova, and then you could go west of San Francisco, and it might be in the 60s, just in that short distance. So it's kind of a similar type situation. But as you see in the behind the scenes thing, is that we're trying to work out a visit to Little Rock, and hopefully we'll do it on a day in March. Right now, we're trying to do something where we do something in the morning where we have presentations and maybe Q&A, and that might be at the ULR campus, University of Arkansas Little Rock, and I have some people there, and I have a person that, because I'm on the Arkansas Association of Computing, which has to do with pioneers that's been in uh, computers, and we get together on occasion and we talk about a lot of things. So I know some of the board members, and we're trying to get that worked out where we'll do a morning session there. And if you watch some podcasts, I've developed a relationship there with the executive director at the Arkansas Museum of Fine Arts. So we'd like to do something maybe in the afternoon there where we do some maybe roundtables where people have wanting to know more about certain subjects, that we get them together based on the morning session or just questions that people have in advance or more of an interest level. Uh, then we could have a social hour out there too. I think they've done this in the other locations they've been at, is having an Argentina wine tasting, which allows him to bring in products that you'll find at a Sam's Club or even maybe at a Costco or somewhere, but maybe you can find those about anywhere. Is that Argentina wine, and they're well known for that. So you can see that there's quite a few things to get organized here, and what I do is a little more involved than just making the contacts, but facilitating a meeting like this. There's quite a bit of few things to be done. So I hope you enjoy this as you watch some of that. And I do have a little brief thing about the thing I've been handling with my heel. I have a wound there, and I've been going to the wound clinic, and I've been trying to keep people up to date on what's happening there. So you'll see a little of that first, but then hang around and you'll get to meet Pablo, and you'll see that Business International is a little more than just the business side of it. You have to get the social side in place, because building relationships are what it's all about. I mean, we've done projects. There's a couple that came to DC. I guess it's when Trump first got elected in 2016, and is a power couple. And what's interesting about that story is that they were some people interested in LED lighting, and it was a fairly major project, and I knew there were some things going on there. And we had a meeting with them and got some things together, and we later on met with some people in Mexico at a plant. So there's things that come out of this. It's not just what you might consider the software aspect of it, but the commercial aspect of it. And of course, some of the LED things were done with a company that Jim Guy Tucker, whom I'd done business with, and over in Indonesia in Jakarta. So I had that contact, and I saw that they were in that business. So you'll see things like that happening, but I wanted to make sure that I'm not just sitting here doing podcasts and doing things strictly on the level of just trying to maintain my, my Parkinson's, uh, I guess my speech and my ability to communicate effectively. But I am involved in some businesses that have a lot of impact, could have a lot of impact, and something you might be interested in. And as this develops on the date and time and location, I'm sure there'll be professionals that will want to attend, because it's kind of like software I developed in Arkansas and I sold it around the world. Is that sometimes you have a specialty thing, and this may be the case in Argentina, that you have its proven product and you have it ready to go out in the market faster than somebody can develop their own. And in this case, it could be something somebody's looking for, or they know of a company that's looking for it. So I know this is the case and reasons they've traveled to these other cities. So why not Little Rock?
Got you. That's good.
The Razorback caps came from when I was in D.C. They lived up there for 2 or 3 years, and you'll see here that his wife Nora and his son Frankie is in this picture. They have a daughter Mia, but here is Frankie today. So Pablo is now a grandparent. So okay, here's a clip of my latest trip to the wound clinic, and this time there's a nurse that's seeing me, and she gives me some interesting information and says I need to maybe have some additional checkups with my circulation.
We have 3 providers that work every day that see about 60 patients, so they split them up.
That's fine. I just wanted to get to the main person because I know
That's it. This is it.
Well, the main person, of course, is Dr. Dean, and we all follow his plan.
I know you follow his plan, but you all are good. I mean,
You get to see several different people while you're here.
Yeah. Well,
and it is a little confusing. I mean, we had this one fellow who had a Botox wound, and one day he broke down and he said, "You know, how many more people are y'all going to parade in here to see my wound on my butt?" I think the whole clinic's been in here. I said, "Oh no, we got a few more people that haven't seen you yet. Just a minute."
Gonna be more. Well, you get the
Valid point though when you're talking about your backside.
Yeah.
I know it. You get the best of the best. So, but no, it's.
So this is really cool sandal there.
I love his shoes. I always compliment him on his shoes.
Well, I've got kind of chewed out last time because I am getting a shoe that.
Well, the heel is not the greatest for these.
Yeah,
correct.
I know.
But we still like them for a normal.
Well, yeah, they're easy to get in, get on, and get off, and that's all I'm looking at.
Yeah. Well, so tell me this: what are you doing to try and improve your footwear?
I'm getting that shoe that they recommended, and it's taken a week to get from Connecticut here.
Probably because of the storm.
The weather and everything, but Amazon, you usually get it in a couple of days. Well, I think it'll be here today.
You just never know. I had some Amazon stuff on the way, and I got a message saying, "Well, now it's not going to be here until the 21st." And then about 3 hours later, "Hey, guess what? It's coming today."
Yeah. Well, mine's been over there right off of Memphis. That's our main area, and I've been kind of communicating with them. I said it seems a little bit taking a lot of time to get from Memphis over here because it is FedEx. I mean, and I think it might be here today, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Good.
The one thing about it, the last few days with the snow, I haven't been out doing anything. So
yeah.
Well, that's really great for your wound. Keep that up.
Yeah, I've just
really until you get that shoe, just do nothing.
That's what I've been doing, and this is the first time I've been out. The weather's okay, but it was crazy on 6:30.
You didn't touch that and start bleeding. You sure didn't. Seriously, I mean.
Yeah.
6:30 was bumper to bumper this morning, which is a little more than I expected. But
6:30.
Well, I think a lot of people were going late to work.
Well, they decided that kids could go back to school, basically.
All the schools going back
in Little Rock, schools are open.
Okay, well, I'm sure that I like to come in early because if you come in the middle of the day or something, or later in the morning, it takes longer. It seems like so. I like to get here, but it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So you got any history like the guy that was a meth? He was a meth king, I guess. The one that's in your last.
No, I'm just got a boring history of being a nurse since 1992, and a nurse practitioner since 2003.
So you've been in? How long you been in the wound clinic?
This is 7 years now.
7 years. So you're kind of old timer. I mean,
Yeah.
Well.
Keeping the weight off of it. At one time, I would have said, "I don't guarantee you will heal up."
Yeah.
There's really no guarantees in medicine, but that does really highly improve your odds of healing. If
Yeah.
you keep pressure off of it with every step.
Do you think because I'm diabetic and I got, of course.
Yeah, diabetes makes it real difficult to heal.
Yeah.
Not only because blood sugar, if it's too high, it delays healing, but also because it damages the little blood vessels and the big blood vessels that are supposed to supply blood flow to your foot skin. And basically, that is what a lot of times turns out to be the thing that gets people to go ahead and heal up, is when we get their circulation.
So do you think it's improving now, looking better, or you don't, or you?
Well, I think the tissue looks good. I made this one little spot bleed, so I'm just going to have to do the old-fashioned thing, tilt you and put your head down below your heel so it'll stop.
Yeah.
If I can figure out how to make this work.
Yeah, now you got it. Now I'm going down. Oh yeah, that's good.
Thinks he's had his circulation checked. He's got a wound that won't heal unless he's got good circulation, and so he's already established over there. I need to get him back in with them. And I used to be able to look at the Epicure link. I don't know, did they just crash everybody's sign-ins for that? My sign-in don't work for it anymore. This has nothing on it though. Yeah. What is your birthday again?
I removed my birth date, so that's why you hear us blink.
My name is Paula Sargent of Herb Lair, Lair. Is that right? Lair?
Correct. Yeah.
That's correct. Dr. Cohen sent him here to the wound center, okay, because of a wound. And I know, because I've been taking care of people with diabetes and wounds for so long over here, that if he has bad circulation, it'll never heal. So I'm trying to get him back in with whoever checked his circulation out. No, it would be the vascular clinic.
Okay, St. Vincent doing all they can to get my circulation checked out, and they're battling Epic and my chart because they want to be on there to share data, which is one of the things that could be improved with the efficiency. So now I'm taking behind the scenes with my Google Meet, and I just put an iPhone there and captured it. I didn't want to, in fact, it's all spontaneous, and I didn't even make them aware I was recording it, but there was just a normal conversation you do when you're preparing for a meeting, but I wanted to see what's involved, to let you know what's involved. But this is Sebastian, and he's in Buenos Aires, and Pablo Abdian, and he's in Bariloche. And Bariloche is kind of a remote site, and he has good video, and Buenos Aires, which has a lot of good technical service, Sebastian was able to get his video up. So that's the way it runs.
That's amazing.
Where are you? Where are you right now?
I'm in Buenos Aires.
Well, you're having
right?
a heat wave down there, huh?
Well, yes. It's
middle of summer, yeah.
Yeah, it's a hot summer, so we're trying to.
Hey, there he is.
My dear old friend.
Yeah. We go way back.
Yeah. No, please, no, go back. How are you doing, Herb?
All right. Where are you?
I'm in Bariloche now.
Yeah. What's the temperature? What's the weather down there now? Is it a little cooler?
The weather here is remember that it's summer.
Yeah, I know.
However, the temperature is 57 or 58.
Yeah, it's got a little bit like San Francisco is in the summer. I mean, it's a little bit.
Yes, it's raining.
Yeah,
it's raining.
Yeah.
So it's high in the mountains.
So how far are you from? How long does it take you to get to Buenos Aires? Is it pretty big.
In flight is 2 hours. 2 hours flight.
2 hours flight. Okay.
It's a little bit more than 1,000 miles from Buenos Aires to here.
Yeah. Now I guess you have good internet service there, or how does that work?
Yes. No, I have very good optical fiber here.
Okay. Good.
Okay. So if I ping, let me see, if I ping Google, for example, it takes me 22 milliseconds, which is not bad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can live about anywhere anymore. So it's always kind of nice to have that kind of service, or at least have service that you can work globally. So that's good.
So it's very good. So are you in Harrison?
Now we're in Little Rock, but in Harrison it's a little cooler up there. Yeah, we moved to Little Rock in February. That's why we moved here. We all our family has health issues, but they've got a real good facility here. That's
yeah, of course.
And so we moved down here. My son's down here, and he's into a major business. It is the biggest private company in Arkansas, and it's in the poultry business. So we.
Okay.
So it's a reason for us to be here, and as I said, I've been dealing with Parkinson, but one thing's different about my Parkinson is that I have caught it early, and I've stayed a lot more cognitive in my thinking. That's one of the reasons I did the podcast, is show that where I am and where I'm progressing, and if you do things right, it can take a long time to go down, and so that's
of course. But you sold the house in Harrison?
Yeah, we sold. Though that we're in a kind of a planned community here, but it's really nice. It's about the same square footage, but it's really it's convenient. It's just a real good environment. We're real close to all the shopping and everything, and it's really
because I was missing this restaurant where we used to go to eat trout there.
Yeah. That's well. He went to DeVito's for the trout, but we also went to Neighbor's Meals. So. Food places here, but that's when I say Harrison to anybody, they usually go there if they're going to Branson or going to some of the lakes and things. So that's really good. But I guess you're down in. Do you ski, or what do you do down here?
Well, here we have a lot of trouts as well.
Yeah.
I go to fishing not very often, but we get like 10 pounds trouts here.
Oh, that's good.
Big ones, yeah.
Yeah.
But well, the truth is that here is summer is fishing and hunting. Here.
Yeah.
So I'm buying more stuff to go for hunting.
Okay.
And winter here is we have just in front of our house I think it's the biggest ski resort in all the Patagonia.
Yeah, you hear a lot about that. Now, when do you go skiing there? What's a month do you?
It's last year in 2024 it started in May.
Okay.
Which is not normal. Okay. Yeah. Normal starts by middle June till end October.
Okay. Yeah.
Well. So this year we had snow even in middle November, but the truth is that the resort was closed, so we didn't went there.
I knew that a lot of people, as far as international travelers and stuff, they were always getting
the truth is that many people from US and from Europe, the people that do ski as a professional sport, they come here for training during the summer in the north.
Yeah.
Okay, to keep training and be ready for the games or whatever. No.
Okay.
So very good to see you, man. Yeah, Sebastian, sorry.
Great to see you. And I'm hoping that...
I am sorry that my camera is not working here. I'm behind some driver issues I'm trying to solve. No camera for now. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
No problem.
I'm
We
glad.
don't lose too much.
Yeah,
No.
I saw you there a while ago, so
Yeah.
I know
I
that.
start with the camera and I just lose it.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
worry. Thank you for this couple of minutes you're providing for us.
no problem. I was trying to get an update. I know that there's some things that we can do with this. It's going to be pretty good. I'm not sure where you are on scheduling people or companies, but the way I look at it, I've gotten a lot of really nice feedback, and it could be that we could do something at a college and have like presentations and maybe a little Q&A, but then we could shift to uh, the art museum, which would be really nice for having kind of roundtables and maybe the wine tasting in the afternoon. So it could be a good day, and it could be we could hit a lot of people. And as I said, one of the involvement is the Stevens, and Warren Stevens is just he's resigned. And they're an investment banker, but he's really tied in close to the museum. But he's taken the position as being the ambassador to England or UK, and that's a big deal. And then we have another one, the governor. Her name is Sarah, her maiden name Huckabee, and her dad is going to be the ambassador to Israel. So those are two high-powered appointments, which means that we get a lot of attention. Those are kind of Republican side, and of course, the Democrat side has been with Clinton when he was president, and he was there 8 years, and so he's done a lot of things here. So there's a lot more power and a lot more things here than you might imagine, and it's kind of a close network, so you don't get spread out with a whole bunch of people. But there's a lot more billionaires than you might think, but there's also a lot of people that have been very good in creating business, which Walmart found. They started here in Tyson's Foods. There are another ones out there with poultry and everything all over the world, and then you got some other like Stevens Incorporated. They're into finance, and they get into a little bit of everything. So they kind of invest in. They just, but they like the international aspect of things. They really push that idea. So that's why when we started getting into this, I wanted to make you aware that there's a lot more here than and maybe you would think of just by looking at the state itself, because you got some real movers and shakers who have their hands in a lot of things, and I think they've really opened it up on technology. And when I started, there wasn't much going on with that, and I had to really depend on a lot of other people to get going. But it seems to be a lot different now, so that's why I wanted you to be aware of that. And I don't know what you've got as far as any updates and what kind of schedule you might be looking at, or what
you don't have to sell me. You don't have to sell me anything, Herb. I mean, for me, it will be a pleasure to meet you. Yeah. And the only thing that I will ask you is to share a beer with me. That's it.
Do what now?
To share a beer with me.
Oh yeah, I've got a good place for that. We'd have fun with that.
Okay. Okay. But talking about the event, what I was thinking is, I talked to one of my partners. He's an MIT engineer.
Yeah.
Okay. He, in the company and in our group, he's the one that really best sees how the scenario and the actual situation with AI and how AI will move forward.
All right. So
I talked to him. The idea is also he participated in this first meeting with all these people there. Okay. To share his vision about where the technology is going and how will be the evolution of the technology in the next few years. And then myself, from our company perspective, and the different, we are planning to go with two more companies that now Sebastian will share with you what they do. So each of us make a brief presentation about our capabilities and services. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think that's great. And I think you see where I'm going. I have a really good. I'm on this Arkansas. It's called the Academy of Computing. It's where these pioneers have been put in. And one of the people that's really hot on this is she's tied to the college. And then I got really good feedback from the lady that's the executive director at the library. And I thought, well, we really could figure out a way to do some presentations like you talk about, and maybe some Q&A from each of the companies, and then we could shift, after lunch, or we can go out to the library and or at the museum and have lunch, and they got an excellent place up for roundtable type things, and we could go over there and then have roundtables, and then the thing we talked about with the wine tasting, that would be ideal there too, because you've got an area there that's real casual, and really it's one of the top museums in the country now, because they redid it about 5 years.
Yeah, I seen what you share with me, and it's really amazing. The place is huge.
And she's become a friend because I did a podcast with her, and her mother has Parkinson. She lives in Cleveland, so it was really, we developed a good relationship there. And then the other person, as I said, we're on the same group, and of the kind of the pioneers, and they're really open, and they can get key people in from companies. Once we set a time and date and kind of get it together, then she will do. That's kind of part of her job, is to work with that college, and it's not a big trip from the college over to the museum, but so it's not a big deal. So I think we could do it that way, and it would get you maximum exposure. Even some of the people would do both, and some may do one or the other, but we'd have enough. I think enough there to capture quite a bit of opportunities, and that's what I see from what you're saying. I think the thing with artificial intelligence, I'm seeing and hearing, even in the medical field, how much that's entering into everything. I mean, just whether it's insurance or whether it's going to the doctor or anything, and there's a big facility here, and I know some of those people would show up because I've got some really good contacts with the neurology department, and I could tell them, who these people are and what they're talking about, and I think it's broad enough that whatever the specialty is here, it's always going to come around where people are really interested, because now they're hearing it, through the major news people, that you better find out what's going on there, because it is. And I'm finding out too. There's anything I can find, whether it's a spinal cord, stimulator or other things that I will use, and you see that all this information gets captured. People don't sometimes forget, but when you wear a smartwatch, and it could be the Apple Watch or whatever, a lot of information's captured. And
of course, I wear a Garmin stuff. You can see it here, so I have a lot of information from this device. In the health arena, we are working in build a proof of concept with a small device.
Right.
The idea is that doctors get that device like a pin,
Yeah.
And it connects through Bluetooth with the computer, so it captures the whole conversation between the doctor and the patient, no? And based on the conversation, with some keywords, the doctor can say, okay, this is a medical prescription, and say whatever medicine, okay? Right. And the system automatically build the prescription, send to the pharmacy, update your clinical history, whatever, huh? Yeah. So no more notes, and no bad that the doctors, one of the characteristics is they have very bad letters, no? And so everything will be digital. So I hope we can get this proof of concept built for this time, And but anyway, what I think, Herb, the truth is that I trust Sebastian too much because he used to be in the place he worked before joining us. He was in charge of build all these kind of international trips and wherever, no?
Right.
So I would like him to start working in with you in building all this trips. What I would like is to see if you agree. Besides my partner, who is the one that will speak about the AI and where is the AI going in the next few years. The other two companies that are going with us, I would like, if you are okay, I would like Sebastian explaining,
Yep.
and if you are okay with them. So please, Sebastian, go ahead.
Yeah, sure thing. So, can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes.
Hear you well. No
Yeah,
problem.
excellent. So, I think the first and most important thing is that if we are doing an Argentinian event, let's do wine and not beer, okay?
Right.
It's
Now,
better.
the beer will be after or before just Herb and
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
As an old friend.
We'll get that worked out. But yeah, I think that's one of the things you could bring in a Sam's or a Walmart or whatever, because I know they sell
Yeah.
Argentina wine. So
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Herb. That was just a joke, sorry. So, the way I'm seeing it is, thank you very much for taking care of all that has to do with venue and activities and the people to have, to enjoy the time, not only in terms of work and relationships, but also in terms of activities. So, what I'm worried about is three main things. The first one being that we do provide some important information for the people, and this not to be just a sales pitch or whatever. So that's why Pablo mentioned Suber, because he can definitely, being an MIT graduate expert on AI, and definitely give some important view on AI 2025 to the people coming. Understand? So it's important that they take something home, that it's not just companies trying to sell them something. In that regard, the second thing would be what kind of proposal do we take there? So these two companies that Pablo is mentioning, they do have an AI side to them, but they also are strong in other areas. One of them is mostly into everything that has to do with Microsoft Cloud.
okay.
That one's called Posumus, and the other one is a friend of ours too, and they are mostly concentrated on hard engineering and automation. So we can do like an AI day where we provide different insights on different sides of AI, or we can do a technology day where we talk about AI and they talk about cloud computing, and the third company talks about automation or whatever.
Well,
That's important, but that's what's going to.
yeah, I think the
all these companies.
emphasis would be on AI, but the other two would be great. I mean, I think we're going to have time to bring those in, and one subject, and I don't know, it may not apply here, but there's a big controversy in the U.S. about the H1, about people working, and I know that sometimes people want to contract work or they want to do something, and the factor is that we know a lot of companies do hire people from other countries, and sometimes it's a cheaper labor, but sometimes it's because they have a very specialized area. They've done something that somebody here hasn't done. That's a little bit what I was all about.
Yeah.
In doing the software I did. I'd done it for a lot of small systems, and so I could carry that over to a lot of different countries. So those are the kind of things we want to kind of touch on. But since it's kind of a hot button here, just kind of we'd want to at least have some general thoughts, as if nothing else than answering a question. I just thought, I don't know what y'all do as far as contracts or anything you've done where people are assigned, or whether they just do it remote or anything else. But some of those things are just basic things, but there's still probably something that somebody's going to have on their mind. So
Yeah, the way I see it, it's a good thing that we're coming from Argentina because it has some taste to it. Like we can offer wine, and it's something different and a different activity for local companies. But I wouldn't concentrate on here's what Argentina is doing or this company that come from Argentina. It doesn't matter where we're from. In IT and in AI. I think it's more important to speak about what's happening in the landscape, the AI landscape.
no, I
We're
agree.
actually a company that has headquarters in Washington, so we are mixed there. We're not just Argentinian. These two companies also have not only people but offices in the U.S. So being from Argentina has nothing to do with price of the rates of the labor, or it's just like an anecdote, just for wine. But
Sure. No, I agree. And in fact, that you're in basically the same time zone, or it's a lot easier communicating sometimes with
yes,
people. And
that's important. Yes.
yeah, I think those are things. I think y'all know the real hot buttons, but I just
Okay,
wanted.
this will be continued in March if we get all the details worked out. Thanks.